So a very warm welcome to all of you. I hope you all are doing well and welcome to I Am Blaster's official YouTube channel. If you are preparing for Ipmat and UG entrance examination, you are at the right place. For any details inquiry, you can call us at 7524833567. This is also the WhatsApp number. You can also WhatsApp the problem. Okay, so and those of you are not aware who am I, my name is Nishant and I'm the WALK faculty. I will be teaching you English. So we are meeting after a long time. I think the 3 or 4 days have been passed. 4 days, yeah, exactly. So do follow the Telegram channel. The link is in the description. If you are unable to follow to the link, just search I Am Blaster without spaces, small case, you will get it. Okay. What we were saying that we are meeting after a long time, 4 days gap, so I will compensate for it. Today's session we are going to discuss about mocks. I have brought mock 1 for you and I will be at least doing 5 mocks for you in the time period till I Am Rohtak examination, that is 20th. So this is the first mock for you. There will be around 15 to 16 questions in this mock that we'll be discussing. The mock will be of the moderate to the tough level and 2 or 3 questions may be of the easy also. So easy, moderate, tough, it is a mixture of all the 3 levels. And let's start. Okay, so moving forward, the first question that you are going to face is a reading comprehension type question. So I'll read the whole passage and then we will discuss the question and answer. Okay, so let's start. We use the word culture quite casually because referring to a variety of thoughts and action. I would like to begin my attempt to define cultures by a focus on 3 of its dictionary meanings that I think are significant to our understanding of general term culture. The author is generally saying we are going to discuss about culture in a general term. We often forget that its more essential uses is as a verb rather than as a noun. Okay, since the noun follows froth matlab, we can say that noun comes earlier than the verb. The activities involved in the verb. Thus, the verb to culture means to cultivate. It's not here to cultivate. The word here cultivate is not about agriculture thing. It's about the habit of development something. Developing habit. Okay. This can include at least 3 activities to artificially grow macroscopic organisms to improve and refine the customs, manners and activities of one's life, to give attention to the mind as a part of what goes into the making of what we call a civilization or what was thought to be the highest culture. Okay, so here the author is saying that we are going to learn about the different types of culture, from macroorganism growth to the one's single individual life to the whole civilization. Okay, and in short, one might argue that culture is the intervention of human effort in refining and redefining that which is natural, but that is gradually takes on other dimensions in the life of individual and even more in the interface between the individual and society. So it's just saying that we are going to define about we will be refining or redefining what is natural. Means we are going to discuss about the, we can say, thoughts and actions that are natural or reflecting to the individual only. Okay. When speaking of society, this word also requires defining society. Just mark the word society because it has come many times. Society, okay, society, okay. Now, society, it has been said, is what emerges from a network of interactions between people that follow certain agreed upon and perceptible, it's marked with green, patterns. These are determined by ideas of status, hierarchy and a sense of community governing the network. They are often but not invariably given a direction by those who control these essentials in how a society functions, as for instance its economic resources, its technology and value system. So it's generally saying the societal patterns that we are going to discuss are determined by the status, hierarchy, and a sense of community governing the network, and often it is governed by and controlled by the societal functions that is the people that are governing the societal functions and like its economic resources, technology, and value systems. Okay, so you have to just read the passage at once. You will not get the things because generally the passages are really tough. They are from the good books. Okay, you will as a 12th student, you will not be able to get the whole gist of the things in one go. You just have to get the essence of what the author is trying to say, or what is just the essence of the things. You don't have to read every meaning and things of the passage. Okay, so moving forward, the explanation and the justification for who control these aspects of a society introduces the question of its ideology. Just mark the word ideology, and often its form. The resulting patterns that can be differentiated from the segment to segment of the society are frequently called cultures. Most early society registers inequality. Most early societies register equality. The, the access of their members to wealth and status varies. Obviously, the most early societies registered inequalities. Early societies was unequal in many aspects, and the access to the wealth goes to the status. The idea of equality therefore has many dimensions. All men and women may be said to be equal in the eyes of the God, but may at the same time be extremely differentiated in terms of income and social standing, and therefore differentiated in the eyes of men and women. This would not apply to the entire society. There are many times when society is confirmed to a greater degree of equality, but such times may be temporary. It has been argued that on a pilgrimage, the status of every pilgrim is relatively similar, but at the end returns to inequalities. Societies are not static and change their forms and their rules of functioning. Cultures are reflections of these social patterns. Just mark the word social patterns. It has come many times. So they also change. Okay. My attempt in introduction is to explain how the meaning of a concept such as culture has changed in recent times and has come to include many more facets than it did earlier. Faces mean many more times, we can say many more faces of the things, we can say, or many more aspects of the things. Okay, facets. Generally, the meaning of facet is, we can say, the planes. If we consider a stone, the plain side of the stone is called facet. Facets than it did earlier. Okay, what we understand. Just mark it till here. Okay, it's the statement. Okay, a single statement. Okay. What we understand as the markers of culture have gone way beyond what we took them to be a century or two ago. Apart from items of culture, which is the way in which cultures as heritage was popularly viewed, there is also the question of the institutions and the social codes that determine the pattern of living and upon which pattern okay, upon which a pattern, a culture is constructed. Finally, there is a process, there is the process of socialization into society. This mark the word, and the culture through education. There is a historical dimension to, sorry, just 1 second. Let me raise the line. Okay. Okay. There is a historical dimension to each of these, as culture and history are deeply intertwined. Okay, history and culture are deeply intertwined. Intertwined matlab mixed. They are tungled. Okay. There is also an implicit. You will get to know the meaning of implicit further. Implicit dialogue between the present and the past, reflected in a way in which the readings of the past change over the historical periods. Moving forward, we can say like, okay, next. Every society has its culture, namely the patterns of how the people of the society live in varying degree. This would refer to broad categories that shape life, such as environment that determines the relationship with the natural world, technology that enables a control over the natural world, okay, the political economy that organizes the larger vision of a society as a community, or even as a state. Structures of society sorry the structures of social relations that ensure its network of functioning, religion that appeals to aspirations and belief, mythology that may get transmuted into literature, and philosophy that that teases the mind and imagination without question, with question, sorry. Just mark the words philosophy. I think they are this repeating like subject, political economy, laws of vision, construction, religion, sorry, religion, aspirations, mythology. Just mark. I think it may be important. Okay. The process of growth is never static. Therefore, there are mutations and changes. Mutation is changes, meaning just like same changes within the society. There is a communication and interaction with other societies through which cultures evolve and mutate. Evolve means to go to the higher degree of oneself, or mutate is to change. There is also the emergence of subcultures, okay, subcultures that sometimes take the form of independent or dominant cultures, or amoeba like breakaway from the new cultures to to form the new cultures, okay, amoeba like breakaway to form the new cultures. Although cultures coincide with history and historical change, the consciousness of the categories such as culture in the emphatic sense in which the term is popularly used these days emerges in the 18th century in Europe. The ideal was the culture of allied groups. Therefore, sometimes a distinction is made between what can to be called high culture and that of a light, and the lower culture that of those regarded as not being of a light, okay, not being of a light, and sometimes described as popular. They are generally popular, not a light, popular, okay, just to grab the sense. Historical records of the light culture in form of such as text monument, for instance, received larger patronage matlab we can say respect, izzat, and symbolize the patterns of life of dominant groups. They were and are more readily available as heritage than the objects of socially lower groups. Obviously, the higher the allied groups are more, and their heritage things are more easily available, readily available than the lower groups in the societies. In societies whose less durable cultural manifestation often do not survive, they do not survive. Their cultural manifestation generally do not survive. Here, right? This is also predispose people to associate culture as essentially that of a life. Okay. Now here we end the passage. I know it's been a long passage. Okay, but it's a tough one. Yeah, I have done this stuff, and you will get a very good assumption of the examination from this passage. And in this passage generally you have to just read the things out. You don't have to understand each and every aspect and each and every things in the passage. You just have to read it out and just go to the question. Now we will be going to the questions. Okay, so question number one, it's saying what is the central idea of the passage. It's asking just the central idea of the passage. Okay, now let's read the option. The author has explained the importance of religion and equality before God. See, author has not generally talked about religion, not as the central idea. Okay, not equality we can say, but not before God. So this option is wrong. The author has defined culture and its sub-elements. He has defined culture obviously, but not its sub-elements. He just talked once about sub-element, but not defined it, and obviously not the central idea. The author has explained the social inequalities existing in a society. Yeah, he has explained some social inequalities. Let me consider it for now before reading the D option. The author has explained the contextual metamorphosis of culture in different contexts. Okay, so what is the central idea of the passage? Now, the author has, पहली बात तो सबसे बड़ी बात है, we need to understand the meaning of metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is changes that we go over time. ठीक है? Okay. Now, so I have considered this. I have considered this. Now I have to choose between these two. So let's go to the passage first. Okay. So let's. Okay, we're going back. I have read one thing and I've also marked this one, the civilization called society. No. Yeah, I think this is the central idea. My attempt in this introduction is to explain why the meaning of a concept. My attempt in this introduction is to explain the central idea, okay? How the meaning of a concept such as culture has changed in recent times and has come to include many more facets than it did earlier, okay? So it's just saying the attempt in the introduction is explain the meaning of the concept and such as meaning of the culture as a concept and the changes it has gone in the recent times. And coming back to the question, author has explained the social inequality existing. Yeah, social inequality, but not the central idea. Cut it. And I think this is the right answer because the author explained. Let me check. Yeah, this is the right answer. The author has explained the contextual metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means change over time. Yeah, this is saying the change over time of culture in different contexts. Just see the word metamorphosis, change over time, and come to the statement change in recent time. Okay, you get it. Moving forward to the next question. According to the author, what are the characteristics of a society? Society की क्या characteristics होते हैं? Okay. So coming to the options, society consists of rich and poor. No, this is not the characteristics. Rich and poor की बात ही नहीं की उसने. Society consists of relationship between people who have agreed to follow certain norms. Yeah, we can say that. Society consists of inequalities between people who have access to and over control. Because society does not consist of inequalities. It has inequalities as a part, but it did not consist of inequalities between people who has access to control over the resources. And author is certainly did not talk about the resources and things. So I think this will be wrong. Society consists of people who go on pilgrimage together. No, pilgrimage की उन्होंने बात की थी, but not about together and things. He just gave an example of other thing. So I think option B is the right answer. Yeah, option B is the right answer. And I think if we check something, I have noticed. Okay, see, is what emerges from the network of interaction between people that follow certain agreed upon and perceptible patterns. Okay, perceptible का meaning होता है that can be seen or felt. Okay, we'll going to discuss because it's made in green. Obviously the question will be there. So question number 2, option number B is the right answer. The society consists of relationship between people who have agreed to follow certain social norms. Okay, they have agreed to follow certain social norms. That's why they are the part of society and the relationship between the people. Okay, now question number 3, with respect to the above passage, what are important elements of the culture? He is asking what are the important elements of the culture. So here are some elements are given in the options. We have to see which one matches with the passage. Social inequalities, yeah, we can say that. Wealth, no. So obviously this option will not be considered. Okay, high culture elite and low culture popular. I think he has said about this. Okay, history बात की उन्होंने, एजुकेशन की बात की है उन्होंने, रिलीजन की बात की है, बिलीफ की बात की है, और मोस्ट प्रॉपर्ली पैटर्न्स. मैं पैटर्न्स कह रहा था ना, यहाँ वर्ड आ गया सोशल पैटर्न्स, जो मैंने आई हैव मार्क्ड इट 2 times. Growth, no. Civilization, yes. Communication, yes. Texts and monuments, yes. Growth, no. So this option goes cancel. Okay. Now, with reference to the above passage, what are the important elements of the culture? He is asking about the elements of the culture, not the type of the culture or the people in this. So obviously high culture, no culture. The elements will be C. Answer number C. Option number C is the answer. Let me check from the passage also. I think I have marked something like social patterns many times. Let me see. Yeah, pattern of living, the pattern, okay, social patterns. Yeah, this. The cultures are the reflection of these social patterns. So, cultures are the reflection of the social patterns. And in the question, it's asking about the elements of the culture. Okay, get to know the answer. Moving forward to the question number 4, choose the given options the synonym of the perceptible. You have to tell the synonym of the perceptible. Perceptible का meaning we can say things that can be felt or seen. Okay, are called perceptible. So let's coming. We will check the. Firstly, we are going to check the options. Vague, I think vague is not clear. Meaning इसकी होती है not clear. Obscure, a new word, good word. Obscure. एक मिनट, let me not mark this. Otherwise, you will understand it. You will think that it is the right answer. Obscure की meaning हो जाती है. We can say not easy to. Let me just rub this. Not easy to understand or see. What is the meaning? Not easy to see or understand. Okay. And perceptible की meaning क्या बताई थी? That is clearly felt or seen. Okay. Tangible. What is the meaning of tangible? ये वर्ड आपने कई बार सुना होगा. And most of the students may know the answer. Tangible, that can be seen or perceived. ठीक. Indistinct की मीनिंग क्या हो जाती है? Indistinct means not clear. जब something is indistinctive, not clear है ना. So perceptible is clearly seen or felt. Vague, not clear. Obscure, not easy to see or understand. Tangible, can be seen. Indistinct, not clear. So option number C is the right answer. That can be seen clearly, that can be perceived. Okay. If we match the meaning of the perceptible with that meaning of the tangible, we get the same. So the synonym of perceptible is tangible. Moving forward, question number 5. Same synonym question. Emphatic की meaning बतानी है मुझे. First, we'll see the meaning of emphatic is, that is, emphatic is clear and forceful. Meaning, if we say a word, something to anybody, like we say clearly and forcefully that you have to do this, so it's like emphatic. Okay. Uncertain, you know the meaning. Ambiguous, G-U-O-U-S होता है, ये spelling गलत लिखी है. Ambiguous, obviously it is also like uncertain, ambiguous are same. ठीक है. They are, एक मिनट, let me just rub the things. Okay. Okay. They are same meaning. ठीक है. Uncertain, ambiguous. Lethargic की meaning we should know. Lethargic is just lack of energy. Lack of energy is lethargic. Lazy, we can say lazy. Okay. Explicit meaning. Explicit की meaning हो जाती है clear or make something easy to understand. Make easy to understand. Okay. ये explicit की meaning. And if we check about the emphatic, it is clear and forceful. Clear and forceful. Clear, it is not clear. Ambiguous, not clear. Lethargic does not, कोई meaning ही नहीं बनती. Lack of energy is a different thing. And explicit will go with the answer. Okay. Clear. and make easy to understand. Okay. Moving forward to question number 6. Okay, choose the correct answer and from the correct answer from the options provided below to indicate the most appropriate word in the complete the pair. Okay, complete the pair by using the options. Okay, Cicerone. अब देखो इसका जो प्रोनाउंसिएशन है वो बहुत प्रकार से हो सकता है. इट्स लाइक साइसरोन, सिसिरोनी और सिसरोनी. सो जनरली अगर आप गूगल वगैरह पे चेक करेंगे इट्स लाइक सिसरोनी, और कुछ लोग इसे सिसिरोनी भी कहते हैं. इट्स सिसरोनी. सिसरोनी का मीनिंग होता है गाइड. सो इट्स सेइंग लाइक जैसे सिसरोनी का मीनिंग होता है गाइड, ड्रैगोमॉन की मीनिंग क्या होती है? व्हाट्स ड्रैगोमॉन? सॉरी, ड्रैगोमैन. ड्रैगोमैन इज इंटरप्रेटर. The one who is interpreted is dragoman. Okay, तो ऑप्शन नंबर बी इज द राइट आंसर. देखो इन वर्डों से होगा क्या कि यू विल लर्न vocab also and obviously the questions like analogy also. Okay, so we'll move forward. Question number 7. Sylvan. What's terrestrial dash? What is Sylvan? Sylvan is something that is related to forest. That is related to forest, or we can say woods. So एक चीज बताइएगा मुझे आप लोग, this is a good thing. एक वर्ड होता है, there is a word called wood and there is a word called woods. Okay, इन दोनों के बीच में डिफरेंस आप मुझे कमेंट्स में बताइएगा. जो भी ये वीडियो देख रहा है आप मुझे कमेंट्स में इन दोनों के बीच का डिफरेंस जरूर बताइएगा. इट इज अ गुड क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो सिल्वन, कमिंग बैक टू सिल्वन. सिल्वन इज रिलेटेड टू फॉरेस्ट और वुड्स एंड टेरेस्ट्रियल इज रिलेटेड टू अर्थ, समथिंग दैट इज ऑन ग्राउंड. दैट इज ऑन ग्राउंड. सो अर्बन नॉट, फियर नॉट, अर्थ. ऑप्शन नंबर सी इज द राइट आंसर. Okay, question number 8. Select the most appropriate pair of the word from the given options to meaningfully complete the sentence. You have to select from the given option to complete the sentence. So, just let's read the sentence and check the options. Now, despite being the dashed partner in the relationship, the franchisor does not always have all the dash. Despite, now let's set the options one by one. Okay. Despite being the sincere, okay, partner in the relationship, the franchisor does not always have all the limitations. No, limitation will not suit. It is wrong. Despite being the authoritative partner in the relationship, the franchisor does not always have the legalities. Legalities, no, no. Despite being the dominant partner in the relationship, the franchisor does not always have the advantages. बिल्कुल सही लग रहा है ये. And despite being the active partner in the relationship, the franchisor does not always have all the losses. ये भी गलत है. Losses, active और losses का meaning नहीं मैच करेगा. तो option number C is the right answer. Moving forward. Okay, with large classes, it is difficult for teachers to dash regular essay type questions for homework because dash long answer would take too much time. Okay, now let's check the options. With the large classes. With large classes, it is difficult for teachers to consider regular essay type questions for homework because writing long essay would take too much time. I think this is right. It is difficult for the teachers to revalue regular essay type question for homework, and because concise, no. I think this word will match. Let's check the last words. Pursue regular questions for the homework because feeling, no, and being also no. So option number A is the right answer. Now let's check for question number 10. Question number 10 says, patriotism is the last refuge of scoundrels, says Johnson, in the modern world where the cunning, selfish people dash and the hard-working, conscientious people dash quotation holds good. Okay, first मैं क्या करता हूँ, लेट्स गिव द मीनिंग ऑफ कंसेंटियस. कंसेंटियस की मीनिंग हो जाती है, वी कैन से दैट डन विद ग्रेट केयर एंड अटेंशन. डन विद ग्रेट केयर एंड अटेंशन. Something is done with great care and attention is called considerate people. Okay, so matching करते हैं now. Patriotism is the last refuge of scoundrel, says Johnson, in the modern world where the cunning selfish people dominate good and the hard working considerate people suppress. No, suppress नहीं होगा यहाँ पे. अगर यहाँ पे suffer हो जाता तो मजा आ जाता जैसे यहाँ पे था, but no. Okay, let's check option number B, thrive. Okay, we can say the in the modern world where the cunning selfish people thrive and the hard working people conscientiously pronunciation conscientious. ओके, मेरे को भी गलती हो जाती है कभी कभी वर्ड पढ़ने में. conscientious था एक वर्ड और एक वर्ड था conscientious. It's like conscientious. Okay, conscientious people suffer. Conscientious people are the people who are grown up with great care and attention. So it's like cunning selfish people win over conscientious people. Okay, so it's like suffer. Option number B is the right answer. Let's move forward. Question number 11. So question number 11 says error. We have to find error in the given question. The job is much worse than I expected. I think this is right. Sorry. If I would have realized how awful it was going to be, I would not have accepted. Was past, I would not have passed. I think this statement is not in past. I should remove this and go with had. Now, the job is much worse than I expected. If I had realized how awful it was going to be, I would not have. Option number B is the right answer. Okay, so moving forward to question number 12. While luminaries of the dance world has no dearth of opportunities to display their art. Dearth मतलब कमी नहीं है. They don't have मतलब they have lots of opportunities. Luminaries are the highlighted people of the dance world, while the luminaries of the dance world has no dearth of opportunities to display their art. Okay, upcoming dancers suffer from an unfortunate lack of exposure. So I think luminaries is in plural, while the dance world has no dearth of opportunities to suffer from an unfortunate. Okay, I think this is in plural that I have talked. Dance word has. Okay, yeah, got it. Has is a singular verb, and we have to use a plural word for plural subject. Subject is luminaries, and इसको हटा के हम have use कर लेंगे तो it will be good. While luminaries of the dance world have no dearth of opportunities to display their art, upcoming dancers suffer from an unfortunate lack of exposure. Yeah, option number I think B. ना B गलत था ना B. हाँ या B गलत. So question number 13. Choose the appropriate answer for rephrasing the underlined portion of the sentence. Let's read the sentence, and we have to change the underlined part of the sentence from the option given below. Okay, so Sky Airlines recently announced aggressive cost-cutting measures ranging from a new airport check-in procedure that encourages passengers to use self-service kiosks and reduction in the size of the fleets. देखो सबसे पहले तो पढ़ने में ही आ रहा है ये A बीच में नहीं होगा. It will not be there. A नहीं हो. Ranging from new airport, new airport नहीं होगा. I will not use the article here. To the passenger that encourage passenger to use self-service kiosks and reductions in the reduction नहीं बैठेगा यहाँ पे. I think there should be something else. Let's check now. And reduction in size. Okay. A. Such as improvement in the airport, such as improvement of airport check procedure, encouragement of passengers to use self-service kiosks and no. ये ऑप्शन जो है इससे मैच ही नहीं कर रहा है. ओके, रेंजिंग फ्रॉम न्यू एयरपोर्ट चेक इन procedure, यहाँ से आ हट गया है, it is right. New airport procedure that encourage passengers to use self service kiosks and to reductions and to दोनों use कर दिया. No, this is not. Ranging from new आने लगाया, good. Procedure encourage the passengers to use self service kiosks to reductions. I think this will be and की जगह to better suit कर रहा है, and this is going to be answer. Let's check the D also. From new airport procedure encourage equal to the self service kiosks to reducing. देखो यहाँ पे reducing है, यहाँ पे reductions है, and we are talking about the fleet, तो reduction होगा, not the reducing. Okay, he is saying that we should not reducing मतलब gradually reducing the size of the fleet, but it's like reduction, cut off from the size of the fleet is cutting fleet. मतलब generally the meaning of fleet is ship का बेड़ा, the group of ships. But here is like their staffs of this Sky airline on the people that are at the airport. So option number C is the right answer. Moving forward to question number 14. Although the square root of the negative number has no real value, okay, it is not necessarily true that equation involving imaginary numbers like these are practically inapplicable. देखो सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है, देखो उसमें बहुत सामने से पढ़ने में समझ में आ रहा है. We can see that practically inapplicable is not a good sentence. It's not a good part of the sentence. It's not appropriate. So जिस भी ऑप्शन में ये चीज चेंज हो रही होंगी, we will opt that option. Okay. Equation involving these inapplicable imaginary numbers are practical. Nope. Okay, equation involving such imaginary numbers have no practical application. Yeah, practical in application and no practical application is better than practical in application. So option number B I think is right. Let's read the more options. There is no practical application of the equation involving such imaginary. No. Equations involving imaginary numbers such as these inapplicable, फिर भी नहीं यूज होगा, obviously no. तो option number B is the right answer. Next, the sentences given in each question when properly sequenced from a coherent paragraph. Okay, just we have to sequence the sentence in a proper manner, reading all the things. Okay, let's see. But clearly the government is, obviously it's a middle sentence. In the past few years, the Reserve Bank of India might have wrested considerable powers from the government, and when it comes to monetary policies, I think this should be the first one. Should be, but I'll see the other also. The RBI's announcement on certain issue become effective only after. No, this is not the first one. It isn't it time for the government message in the RBI? No. So this is the first, but clearly will be the two. We get the B, A. Let's see the option. Yeah, B, A, C, D. We don't have to check the more things. Just two, and the question is being done. B, A, C, D. Okay. Moving forward to the question number 16. I think this is the last question. Yeah, it is the last question of the day that we are going to discuss. Okay. Now. Again 1, 2, 3, 4 statements are given and we have to find the right statement. Okay, all the levels of demand, whether individual, aggregate, local, national or international, are subject to change. I think this should be the first. Let's mark. At the same time, obviously at the same time is not using it the first. Aggregate demand fluctuates with changes in the actual level of the business, in the level of the business activity, GNP and the national income. Obviously not the first one. The demand of individual tends to vary with the changing needs and the rising income. I don't think all the levels of demand. I think this is the first one. Whether individual, okay. Then demand की बात की गई यहाँ पे. So the demand of individual, yeah, this is the second one. Tends to vary with the changing needs and rising things. Okay. Now at the same time, the science technology B. Science technology dimension we can use to market aggregate and demand. Okay, demand again third, and this is the fourth. I think it's A, D, C, B. Is there an option? Yeah, option number B. A, D, C, B satisfies the answer. Okay. So this is all for today. ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन करते हैं. We have to attempt the question like this. This was a small session of the mock, so we will be presenting more mocks to you, and there is also a great information, but firstly I will discuss about the mocks. I have done first mock. There will be 4 mocks till 20th May more. And if we talk about there is information for you all. We have launched the app. It's in the process. I am Blasters के नाम से ही है. ओके, प्ले स्टोर पे आ चुकी है, बट अभी आप चाहें तो इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं. प्रोसेसेस चल रहे हैं. वी विल इन्फॉर्म यू व्हेन ऑल द प्रोसेस आर डन. इस ऐप से आपको क्या मिलेगा? इस ऐप से आपको मिलेंगे मॉक्स एट अ वेरी चीप प्राइस. ओके, अब चीप प्राइस क्या होगी विल इन्फॉर्म यू, लेकिन हाँ ये डैम श्योर है कि इट विल बी रियली चीप. सो आपको मॉक्स प्रोवाइड होंगे. हम लोग की कोशिश यही है कि आने वाले 3-4 दिनों में 4 to 5 डेज में हम ऐप फुल्ली लॉन्च कर दें, ताकि आप मॉक्स का फ़ायदा उठा पाएँ और अपना स्कोर जो है वो इंक्रीज कर पाएँ. एंड डेफिनेटली इफ़ यू विल अटेम्प्ट द मॉक्स, सी द नंबर ऑफ मॉक्स you attempt in before examination is equals to success in exam. बल्कि we can say it's directly proportional. सिंपल सा फंडा है. जितने ज़्यादा मॉक्स लगाओगे आप लोग, उतना ही ज़्यादा आपके चांसेस बढ़ेंगे IIMs में एंट्री के लिए. सीधी सीधी बात है. सो डोंट हेजिटेट और फियर टू अटेम्प्ट द मॉक्स. जस्ट अटेम्प्ट द मॉक्स. नहीं भी आता फिर भी अटेम्प्ट द मॉक्स. कुछ पोर्शन छूट गया है फिर भी अटेम्प्ट द मॉक्स. मॉक्स जरूर लगाइए. बिना मॉक्स से आपकी नैया नहीं पार होगी, चाहे आप कुछ भी कर लीजिए. वेदर यू रीड ऑल द थिंग्स इन द मॉक्स नहीं लगाओगे, यू विल नेवर अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चंस एंड द थिंग्स. सो मॉक्स लगाइए प्लीज. सो दिस इज ऑल फॉर टुडे. थैंक यू, एंड प्लीज कमर कस के तैयारी करते रहिए आप लोग अपनी. कोई प्रॉब्लम हो सो यू कैन कॉल अस एट द नंबर दैट इज 75238. लेट मी सी, मुझे भी याद नहीं है. लेट मी सी 1 सेकेंड. दिस इज नंबर, सॉरी, 7524833567. 77524833567 is the number. You can call or WhatsApp. रात को 9 बजे के बाद प्लीज़ मत करिएगा कॉल. एंड बस इतना ही आप लोगों के लिए. आप तैयारी करते रहिए. वील ऑल आर विद यू. हम लोग सब लोग आपके साथ हैं. एंड ऐप आते ही आपको मॉक्स डिलीवर हो जाएंगे. एंड दीज मॉक्स मैंने बहुत मेहनत से बनाए हैं, बल्कि मेरी टीम ने पूरी बहुत मेहनत से बनाए हैं. मैं अकेले उसका क्रेडिट नहीं ले सकता. ऑब्वियसली वी हैव अ नंबर ऑफ टीम दैट हेल्प इन मेकिंग मॉक. सो थैंक यू एंड गुड नाइट.